Hi and welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at what are their thoughts and feelings about you and the connection. So there are three groups to choose from. Group 1 is the cherry quartz. Group 2 is the rose quartz. And group 3 is the Dalmation Jasper. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing, and feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups or perhaps all of the groups that you're most drawn to. I'll give you a minute to make your selection and then we'll get right into it. And there are timestamps for each group in the description box of the video if you would like to jump ahead. Hi, Group 1. You chose the cherry quartz. So I'm going to start with some tarot and oracle cards to get a feel for what are their thoughts and feelings about you and this connection. Okay, so we have the Six of Pentacles, the Five of Swords, the Hanged Man, King of Pentacles, the Star, the Hermit, creativity, determination, Angel of Strength, Angel of Balance, Yin Yang, and Contract. So with the Hanged Man, this is definitely somebody who is maybe seeing this connection, thinking about things from a different perspective, where they may have walked away from you in the past, with the Five of Swords, maybe with some cutting words or some pretty harsh declarations about that you weren't what they were looking for, the feelings weren't mutual, or they didn't want to continue the situation between the both of you. It's something that they're really reflecting heavily upon that, this figure here. You know, with these swords of victory, the words said that felt really good at the time, but then this figure's kind of looking back over to the hurt feelings that were caused, or the sense of defeat and loss. This is not somebody who is just kind of marching onward in a state of victory, but somebody who's really reconsidering things. So with the Six of Pentacles, this is really talking about this shift, this desire to perhaps deliver an apology for words that were spoken, with the determination card to overcome some obstacles that are now facing you, with these salmon that are kind of swimming upstream against the current of this waterfall, in order to reach that higher ground and produce something, perhaps a rebirth between the both of you, an opportunity to move forward into calmer waters, or to just transfer the energy of this connection in a new direction into something that, you know, is more enriching, is more fulfilling with the King of Pentacles. To invest in the growth of this connection, where in the past they may have stated a desire to pull away, to pull their energy away, pull their attention away, or to no longer invest in this connection. That something has really shifted within this person, something has really changed. With the Star card, I'm kind of feeling that something has really come to light. And it's interesting here with the Star and also with the Hermit, who in his lantern, he is carrying that, the star of hope, this illumination, this wisdom. So through a period of separation, maybe with the Hermit, where this person has really gone within to kind of evaluate what has happened, or this can even really talk about some kind of spiritual ascension which has taken place within them, some kind of download which they have received even, which is really illuminating for them with this Hanged Man, kind of a different perspective about who you are to them. I'm feeling also with this Yin Yang card here, as well as this Angel of Balance and Angel of Strength. These are all really speaking to kind of this this masculine and feminine polarity, balancing out the light and the darkness within this connection, any kind of negativity or harsh words spoken, this desire to kind of quell that or quench that with the sweetness and softness of an apology. But then also this dynamic of perhaps recognizing you as a twin flame, as a soulmate, something that they overlooked before that is now become abundantly clear to them. Some kind of reconciliation that has occurred within this person in terms of aspects of themselves that they were at war with also. Kind of like the lower nature and the higher self, that some kind of balance has been achieved with this person in that capacity. Some kind of a journey that this person has been on in their own life to really take stock and really take account of their behavior and how they treat people, and maybe how kind of circumstances that are playing out in their their life, they've been able to reflect upon this, and they're really starting to see how their actions have contributed, kind of moving out of this victim mindset, this victim mentality, into the state of starting to take responsibility for the way that they have affected others, the way that they have essentially orchestrated the circumstances that they now find themselves in terms of any kind of loss, heartbreak, or isolation, bridges that were burned, or and I feel that not only in this connection, but perhaps in other ways in their life with other relationships, other people that they're needing to kind of move against these blocks, move against these barriers, deliver some kind of an apology that is owed to other people, that they're recognizing how, through kind of traversing the emotional depths within themselves and really transmuting their thought patterns, transmuting their behaviors, and recognizing how actions of the past have kind of led them further away from where it is that they actually seek to be, where it is they actually want to be, what is actually the best circumstance or environment for them. So yeah, with the balance card here, and then also these scales of justice on this contract, this is really speaking to some kind of an apology that this person wants to deliver to, kind of balance out this connection. They are, thinking heavily about this, thinking heavily about their actions of the past, feeling this urge, this desire to reach out, to make things right. This can also be a sense with this contract card, and then the yin yang, recognizing the soul contract that the both of you had, kind of recognizing that aspects of this connection or of you that have really triggered something within this person, that this was all kind of orchestrated by your souls prior to this incarnation for the purposes of growth, kind of coming in very close with each other, feeling the intensity of this bond, this allure, maybe this very opposites attract kind of energy here that was very magnetic and at the same time really repelled the both of you, for the purpose, again, of healing, of transcendence, of growth, kind of tapping into creative ways in which to move beyond feelings, beyond disappointments, beyond circumstances, to sort of reconstruct a life for oneself out of the ashes of disappointment. This can be somebody who is also tapped into their creativity, which is really helping them to kind of work through some difficult feelings. They are learning more creative or intricate ways of communication. Maybe this person in the past had kind of a short temper, or they were very quick to anger, or were kind of very, very thoughtless, not operating with a lot of empathy in terms of the words spoken to others, not really taking into account others' perspective, but that something has really widened for this person. They've gone from almost this black and white thinking, and they're now seeing in color. They're now seeing a more vivid spectrum of the effect that their actions and their words and their tone and the sentiment behind all of that, kind of the ripple effect that has. This can also be somebody who is also with this yin yang, really experiencing a return of these energies. Somebody who in their own experience has now been made to feel how you've been made to feel by them previously, and it has really offered this person some kind of perspective, sort of stepping into your shoes now and being able through firsthand knowledge to really understand what you went through, what this person's words or the method of kind of breaking things off or moving away from this connection in maybe not the most compassionate way, kind of the sting and the wounds that has left within you. And so this is something that has come into acute awareness with this person. And this is definitely with this creativity card here. This is also somebody who is thinking of creative solutions to, once again, kind of transcend these barriers between the both of you. Somebody who is trying to think of a way. Obviously, they can't literally turn back the hands of time and do things differently, but trying to figure out kind of a creative solution to undo a little bit of the damage that was done, to find a way to re-enter your life, find a way to tap back into the potential that once existed here. Somebody who also is, they're really recognizing this connection in a way that, they want to participate with this. They want to work with this. They want to, help to kind of nurture and build this connection into something really beautiful, allowing this connection to really flourish, investing of, this time, effort, and energy, actions of love, love, mirroring words of love, to really restore balance. Here also in the Six of Pentacles, we've got the scales that are showing up as well, here in the contract card. So somebody who's really wanting to practice reciprocity, where in the past it could have been very one-sided. Certainly in the aspect of only considering their feelings, their perspective on things, and not really taking into account how what they may have said to you before, or the actions that they took, what that really did. With the Hermit card, this feels also like somebody who has gone through some kind of maturation, some kind of spiritual growth. This can also indicate, with the King of Pentacles, that some time has passed, that time has really been what was necessary. Also with this Hanged Man, of both of you kind of leading your separate lives, kind of learning to rebuild yourself or grow beyond this experience in different ways. You know, you learning to flourish in your own life, maybe tapping into your creativity, or finding creative ways to kind of process what you'd been through with this person, to kind of crystallize that pain into something of beauty, into something of meaning, perhaps ways to reach out and help others to achieve that sense of balance within themselves, to kind of, you know, learn to accept more difficult experiences or disappointments, and how to use that going forward as fuel to reach the higher purpose, to reach a higher state of being with this angelic energy here in these three cards, to really transcend and ascend beyond that kind of lower nature, that anger, that density, the negativity, and to really step into that higher self, into a place of perhaps even forgiveness for this person from afar, to really untether yourself from any kind of cords of negativity, but then also forgiveness for yourself, for, you know, even being in that situation with somebody like this, or, you know, maybe this was several repeating cycles, even kind of round and round with this person of being, you know, taken for granted or not appreciated, or ways in which this, you know, just little things that this person really displayed, like an insensitivity, and it took a while to kind of get off that merry-go-round with them. This could have been something where you may have even really been kind of faulting yourself or blaming yourself for a period of time for not advocating for yourself, for not recognizing those red flags, or really asserting when this person was crossing boundaries with you, or was not taking your emotional needs into account, that this is something you may have had to work on forgiveness for yourself, and kind of filling your own cup, nurturing yourself, kind of building this confidence within yourself that you are worthy and deserving of love, despite this person's ability to not give that in the healthiest way previously. But this does feel like somebody who has gone through some kind of an ascension, some kind of growth. Something also maybe, you know, is if this is a tendency of this person to kind of act very harshly and burn a lot of bridges, they may have found themselves very isolated in their life, in general, kind of without a lot of people around them, without a lot of caring connections around them. And this could have been what was necessary, this kind of time out, this period away, kind of as everything is sort of falling away from their life, relationships are falling away from their life, and it's been what is necessary for this period of introspection, for something to really make sense to this person, for that illumination to come, and for them to kind of move into this energy of wanting to strategize some kind of a communication, some kind of an apology, to kind of balance things out between the both of you. And this is something also with this Angel of Strength. You know, this could take a lot of courage for this person to come back into your life. Depending on what happened previously, they might be well aware that, you know, you won't necessarily be open and excited and receptive to hearing from them initially, or at least, you know, they're feeling that way. And so they could be in this process of really trying to gather up that strength, that courage to reach out, to do what is necessary, to have that difficult conversation, and to also really gather the strength to admit that they're wrong. Because sometimes that can be very difficult, even if we know that we have been in the wrong in some capacity with something that we've said, you know, kind of moving beyond just thinking about that in an energy of regret, and really expressing that to somebody, really delivering that heart heartfelt and honest apology and following that up with changed behavior can be a very difficult task. It's something where pride and ego definitely needs to be kind of put on hold, kind of pushed away in order to just come with a very open heart and from a very genuine space. So this could be something that's very difficult for this person, not only in terms of this connection, but other connections in their life where they're really having to, again, put that pride and ego aside and really reach out and discuss how the way in which they were operating before, it was very counterproductive to the harmony of connections. It was very insensitive to others' needs. It was somebody who was very much self-focused, perhaps narcissistic tendencies, but not necessarily, just somebody who I think was largely oblivious to kind of the words that they use and the effect that that has on others. Somebody who might not have had very good communication skills or a very good filtration system in terms of what they're saying, somebody who didn't really practice the art of thinking before speaking, but just kind of blurted things out, whatever was on their mind immediately. And this could have really led to, again, kind of harsh words spoken, hurt feelings, and, you know, this person for a while maybe being in some kind of a denial as far as why people were gravitating away from them or why they were having, you know, this series of kind of crumbling relationships, strain on friendships, difficulties with family, difficulties maintaining romantic connections. And it's really taken this time, this occurrence, this moment of a lot of things falling away for this person to introspect, for something to become clear, some kind of ascension to take place in terms of their understanding of the role of the circumstances they find themselves. So this can definitely be somebody who is thinking quite a lot about creating some kind of an apology for you, maybe drafting an apology, trying to think of a creative way to get back into your life. With this waterfall here, you know, their communication could be blocked between the both of you. This person not only fears that your heart is blocked off, but they might be sensing that as well. It could be something where, you know, it's no mystery that you were quite hurt by this, that, you know, you're not speaking very fondly of them to others, or if their name comes up in conversation, it's something where, you know, others have reported to them that, you know, you're still very hurt about this. It's something that, you know, you're not just turning the other cheek about this, and so that they're recognizing that there's some obstacles in the way, that it's going to take more than just a hi, I'm sorry, in order to kind of bridge that gap between the both of you. That this could be something also with this determination card. They're recognizing that this could be a process, a very long process of kind of delivering that heartfelt apology, to gaining any traction as far as re-entering your life or kind of moving things into a different direction between the both of you, kind of moving out of this energy of stagnation and kind of these heavy hurt feelings into the direction of, you know, planting the seeds and then kind of tending that and allowing that to blossom into a potential of a new beginning between the both of you. So I'm going to get some messages from this person's higher self for you now. Group 1, what do they want to say? Okay, and they say, our time apart really gives me time to reflect. I've been able to look at our relationship with more clarity. So that is that energy of the Hanged Man and the Hermit, where the time apart has really put things into perspective for them. Again, other situations, similar kind of experiences of really alienating people from their life, or hurting a lot of feelings, burning a lot of bridges. This is all really added up for this person. It's all starting to make sense. How the people that they cherish and they care about the most, they seem to push those people away, or the ways in which they have operated in a self-sabotaging manner in terms of closeness, in terms of intimacy, in terms of caring connections, that they haven't really been showing up in a very reciprocal manner in this capacity. And they also say, you make me so happy, I can't wipe this smile off my face. So part of this realization that has really come to this person as far as their actions and kind of the damage that was done, there's also this clarity about the significance of you to them. This dynamic of almost this twin flame dynamic, this yin yang dynamic between the both of you. And it's something where this clarity, this illumination, it's making them very excited. It's making them very optimistic. They may be kind of cognizant about some kind of soul contract between the both of you, kind of this entwined nature of your souls. They almost feel like somebody who was kind of faced with some kind of a puzzle or a problem, and they figured out the solution. And they're very excited now to return to you, to deliver this information, to let you know just what they've discovered, the importance that, you know, they've really tapped into the significance of this, and also excited to really demonstrate to you changed actions that will definitely reflect a changed outlook and attitude and understanding. And they also say, I want to sing sweet lullabies to you as you sleep soundly next to me. So that's that energy of wanting to balance out more of the harsh experiences you've had with this person with some tenderness and some sweetness, a desire to resume the closeness that you once shared. And they also say, I've never been more motivated. Get ready for me. So definitely planning some kind of a return, planning some kind of an apology, knowing that this is very necessary, that it's the right thing to do. It almost feels like something that it's very unquestionable to them that they must find a way. They must find a way to overcome these obstacles, barriers, and blockages between the both of you in order to really speak their truth and make the effort, perhaps a concerted effort over a period of time, to prove changed behavior, to really prove to you how deeply sorry they are about what happened in the past. And they also say, I'm vibing so high because you raise me up. So this really speaks to that kind of overcoming the lower natures and rising up into this higher self, acting from a place of integrity, wanting to do the right thing, working up that courage as well to really fess up to what happened in the past, or to admit that they weren't operating from the best space, to do what's necessary in order to really turn the page between the both of you. And they also say, I've been trying to navigate my way through the darkness. Thank you for showing me the way to your heart. So more of that energy of this person trying to kind of plan and strategize a way back in, a way to overcome this wall, this block, barrier, or obstacle that now stands between the both of you, a way to kind of build that trust with you again, or to kind of bypass any gatekeepers in terms of defensiveness or skepticism that are now in place in your heart as far as this person is concerned. And so before I get the guidance from Spirit, I forgot to do the zodiac signs for these cards. So I'll do that real quick. With the Pentacles, that's Earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. With Swords, we have Air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Hanged Man is Pisces, the Star is Aquarius, and the Hermit is Virgo. And then I'm also going to say Leo energy, because this Angel of Strength here definitely reminds me of the imagery on the Strength card in the tarot. So that can be another sign as well. So now I'm going to get some guidance from Spirit for you, Group 1. Oh, and one more I'll add in as well with these scales. This is really reminding me of the Justice card, Libra. So that can be another zodiac sign for you. So what is the guidance now from Spirit about this situation for Group 1? Okay, and we have interact and relate, community, family, traditions. So this is really speaking about this kind of behavior pattern within this person. Could have really been something that was learned in their environment growing up. They could have really been raised in a situation where emotions weren't talked about, where kind of the expression of emotions was really shamed or discouraged. And so it's something where, you know, it's not to make excuses for this person, but they definitely feel like somebody who's been in this kind of process of facing some of those templated responses, kind of acting not from a heart space, but just very impulsively and from the logical mind, not taking into account the feelings of others. And so this definitely speaks to this process of transformation that has happened within this person with this water showing up in these cards here. This really talks about this person dropping down into that heart space, into the emotional space, taking into account the feelings of others and how their actions again ripple out, and the hurt feelings then result in kind of a minimizing of opportunities or a narrowing of their path in terms of relating to others and their interpersonal relationships. And so also on this card here, with these two figures, you know, kind of meeting here, the meeting of the minds, so to speak, and kind of on this precipice of embracing. This is really talking about, you know, just taking your time, allowing things to build slowly and gradually with this person, not feeling the need if this person comes in to, you know, completely welcome them with open arms, but taking the time to really talk things through, to see things from their perspective, perhaps even having kind of an open mind about the changes that this person is demonstrating or is expressing to you. Really trusting in your instinct and your intuition to suss out if these things are genuine, if this is something, you know, that's in alignment with your truth at this point in time as far as allowing this person back in. If this is somebody that you want to even keep at a distance in your life, there's no wrong choice here. But the important thing is, you know, to allow this person the opportunity to really say what they have to say and express themselves. But then first and foremost, you know, take into account kind of where you're at in your own journey. If this doesn't feel like the right time, if you're not open at this point in time to, you know, kind of a reconciliation or fully allowing this person back in, then definitely honor that intuition and that instinct to kind of keep this relationship at arm's length, allowing time to really be able to experience fully if this is changed behavior in this person, or are these just words that are being spoken to try and find a way back in. If this is something as well where so much time has passed and you feel that you're both on different pages as well, then this can be a great opportunity for some closure for you. Kind of, you know, sometimes hearing that apology, the I'm sorry, that you were right, it doesn't necessarily fix the past, but it can almost be just kind of that final act that helps you to close the chapter on one phase of your life or one relationship and to move forward unencumbered in the direction of different experiences with other people if you so choose. So I'm going to get some initials now. This can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it can spell something out. Okay, so we have F, T, C, Q, V, K, Z, X, O, A, and S. So those are your messages, group 1. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the video. If you like the reading, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 2. You chose the rose quartz. So I'm going to start with some tarot and oracle cards to get a feel for what are their thoughts and feelings about you and the connection. Okay, so we have the Page of Wands, the Four of Pentacles, Nine of Swords, Three of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, Ten of Cups, Meditation, the Thinking Man, Seventh Chakra, Archangel Uriel, Fourth Chakra, Archangel Raphael, and Rest and Rejuvenation. So right away, very significant that there are two cards from two different decks that both talk about meditation, and also with this Rest and Rejuvenation card here, somebody in a meditative pose. So this person is definitely thinking a lot about what has happened in this connection in the past. Some clarity is coming to this person through meditation. This feels like somebody who is actively connecting with their higher self. They could be attempting to connect with your higher self quite successfully through meditation. Somebody who is really seeking guidance, looking for answers as far as how to kind of reach this happily ever after with you. Something may have really happened in the past in terms of them being kind of closed off to this connection, kind of pushing this away, blocking this connection, maybe due to, on this meditation card here with this kind of swirling flame behind this figure, due to the intensity of the energy between the both of you. Some kind of Kundalini awakening may have really sparked in this person after meeting you or while you were, in connection with one another. And it's something that could have been very overwhelming for them, and their immediate response is to just kind of push this away, to block themselves off. This has been something with this Nine of Swords. This has left them with a feeling of regret, of anxiety, of having missed out, a lot of fear in this person of having pushed away the one, pushed away that wish fulfillment out of just kind of this being very overwhelmed, being very confused as well. With this Page of Wands here, this is definitely a card of somebody who, wants to deliver some happy news to you, maybe to reach out with a declaration of love, something small, something that you both can build upon. If this is not a full no contact situation, then this could just be something where this person has been kind of blocked off or closed off, or they've kind of retracted their energy. They've been in this process of kind of this meditation, and the thinking man here just trying to really, with the logical mind, kind of puzzle out what it is that they've been experiencing with you. Also with this seventh chakra, which is the crown chakra, and then the fourth chakra with the heart chakra. This really speaks to this balancing of the head and the heart that has taken place within this person, or that through this meditative practice, or, just really reflecting on the circumstances between the both of you, they're starting to get some downloads that are really resonating. It's starting to make sense. They're starting to get some answers, some clues about what it is that they're feeling within their heart, these sensations that are going on. It's something which is kind of filling them with this renewed zest for wanting to try again, or to move forward in this connection in some way. With the Three of Pentacles, this could be somebody that, it's a relatively new connection. You don't have a lot of time between the both of you, or not a lot has been built in this connection up to this point, but this definitely speaks about this desire to build more from the point in which you find yourselves at, or in which things were kind of put on pause, put on hold, while this person was really consulting their spirit team, their ancestors, their passed on loved ones, their higher self, looking for guidance about what this all means, where to go with this. What can this become in the material world? What are these sensations? What is that supposed to equate out to in terms of a connection with you, in terms of for their life in general? With the Queen of Swords, this can also talk about this clarity that has come to this person, this epiphany energy. There's this energy of certainty where they may have been operating kind of in an energy of fear, very afraid of what they were feeling, afraid of maybe these sensations within them in terms of activations of certain chakras, particularly, with the crown chakra, they may have been getting downloads, or some psychic gifts were coming online. Just something was really happening with this person, feeling almost this connectedness to universal forces, or even galactic forces if you resonate as a star seed. Getting all kinds of intuitive hits, maybe like some clairvoyance going on, some claircognizance that was definitely outside of this person's wheelhouse before, and so they just kind of clammed up and shut down, kind of tried to go within themselves to sort of figure things out, to try and hold on to, stability. Maybe even for some, they felt that they questioned their own sanity. If they are going insane, is this real? Because it's so outside of the box, outside of the ordinary of what they were used to, but that something has really become clear for this person. They're moving more into this space of trust, where they might have been very skeptical about before. They're seeing this as a blessing. It's something that is making them very excited, very enthusiastic to explore this further, to build upon this further. And so again, a lot of thought being put into this, a lot that is starting to make sense. They're starting to gain some direction about where to go with this, a direction in which to move. Some clarity is also coming to them as far as this connection with you is concerned, where they're now seeing you as this wish fulfillment. There's this desire to cut through these obstacles, cut through the uncertainty, the blockages, the barriers, any kind of closed off energy, and to speak some kind of truth, to deliver that truth, to make that declaration of love, which can then open up the possibility of the two of you building upon a solid foundation together, really taking this sensation and seeing what can be created out of that in terms of a relationship, in terms of some kind of a collaboration even. This can be felt as creative energy for this person. Or maybe again, in addition to some psychic gifts, some creative gifts are really coming online, or they're having all kinds of inspiration to just go out there and create. This can be somebody as well that's really been thinking about and kind of questioning and coming to this clarity and this determination of what's their heart's desire for this lifetime, what kind of a life do they want to be living, and instead of operating from kind of a logical mind, they're moving more into this heart space, following the call of their heart. With Archangel Raphael as well, this can really talk about healing. So some healing that is taking place in this person's heart chakra. Any kind of blocked heart chakra, I feel, is definitely that block has been lifted. There's, it's being cleared, it's being kind of cut through this divine intervention, through these downloads, these activations that are taking place. Somebody who may also, with all these meditation cards, be cultivating a spiritual practice or really turning to spirituality or religion to help them through this difficulty. And with great success. There's a lot of healing that is going on as far as their perceptions of love, their perceptions of relationships, their perception of their place in the universe. Also on this thinking man here, and he's, looking at this crystal cluster that he's holding in his hand. So this can really talk about, again, kind of like that crown chakra, connecting with that clarity, with kind of that vibration of sort of stored knowledge, stored information, kind of this wisdom of their soul that is now coming online for this next step in their journey, in their life path, as far as moving toward that wish fulfillment and happiness in their life in general, and also as it pertains to this connection. So I'm going to get some messages from this person's higher self for you now, group 2. What do they want to say? Okay, and real quick before I get into these messages, in terms of zodiac signs here with the tarot, with the wands we have fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. The pentacles is earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. With the swords we have air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. And cups is water energy, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. So from their higher self, they say, I love everything about you. So somebody who's definitely having loving thoughts of you, like with that 10 of Cups, seeing you as wish fulfillment, recognizing you as the one. Somebody who has kind of moved out of this energy of really fearing this connection, fearing what it is they were feeling, what was activating within them. Somebody who may have also been kind of afraid of love or closed off to love. They've really started to bring down those barriers within themselves and are opening up to kind of the joy and prosperity that loving feelings wish to impart to them. And they also say, you inspire me so much. I want to create beautiful things with you. So great confirmation there of this kind of like this kundalini, this creative energy, wanting to build a life with you, wanting to also kind of recreate their ideas of love, of relationships, of the meaning of all of that, the meaning of, each other in one another's lives. And this definitely feels like somebody who, may have been resisting some kind of an ascension at one point in time, may have been really fighting kind of the activations and the upgrades that were taking place within them. But they are leaning more into that. Something is making sense. They're starting to get some answers, starting to feel a little more secure about this. It is in fact originating from a very loving place, that this is for their higher good. That on the other side of, kind of these growing pains or these uncomfortable feelings is the potential to step into a greater expression of themselves in this lifetime. And they also say, don't ever stop shining your light. It is so beautiful. So somebody who feels very drawn to express to you the depth and meaning of their feelings, the sensations that they have, the idea that they are equating with you as being the one, as being very uplifting, a very positive force and factor in their life, where previously they may have been kind of closed off out of confusion or fear about what was going on and sort of the intensity of what they were feeling for you. And they also say, I often sing to you when you're not here. Pay attention to songs that stand out to you. They are a message from me. So they definitely could be communicating from the higher self to you through song lyrics. This person could also be listening to music a lot to kind of get into that space of meditation, of rest and rejuvenation, to kind of calm them, to provide them with some kind of an inspiration. And this really also speaks about somebody who is coming into harmony with the sensations that they are experiencing, allowing this to flow through them as a symphony that is kind of recreating them from the inside out into more of, again, this beautiful expression of themselves in this lifetime. And they also say, I want to share the rest of my life with you. I'm ready to build a happy and secure family together. So great confirmation there of the Three of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups. This feeling of you as wish fulfillment, this desire to build upon these feelings, build something solid in the material world, to work with this energy, this sense of longing that they have for you and of certainty that is now coming to them, being very much at peace with the idea of the two of you together in the future, where previously it may have been kind of overwhelming or just a little much for them to handle or even think about. They may not have been at a place in their life where they were really ready to think about forever with anyone. And then you come into their existence. It's almost like this energy of a whirlwind swirling within them, really activating, bringing some things online, opening up parts of them that they had never considered before, that they'd kind of put on the back burner. And now there's all these thoughts and feelings that are coming up about, long-term plans and about, family and settling down and building something, really exploring and expressing this love with one another. And so this speaks again of somebody who's really transitioned beyond this fear, that they're opening up and they're open to receive and flow with the energy exchange between the both of you. And they also say, I know you hold the other half of my heart. So this person could really resonate even with concepts of twin flame or soulmate. You could resonate with that as well. They're recognizing you as a very complementary force in their life. Deep compatibility here. When they think about forever, they're thinking about that with you. And it's something, this feels very much out of the ordinary kind of the sort of storybook definition of boy meets girl, girl meets boy, boy meets boy, girl meets girl, whatever your particular circumstances are. You meet, you get together, there's some courtship, and then marriage, family, house, all of that, just in a very kind of predictable timeline. This feels very much outside of that, or almost like it's that idea, but on the next level, because there's all this this intensity that's going on with this person energetically, these different gifts and perceptions that are activating within them, this perception of themselves outside of the 3D reality, that there's so much more that comes along with this than love and romance. And so that aspect of this connection, definitely, that's outside of the box, it's outside of what they may have seen in others around them, or what is typically described as kind of the components of love and romance and relationships. And so any kind of energy of fear that they are operating in, being very kind of skeptical of that, uncertain of that, overwhelmed by that, this is really giving way to a sense of peace and acceptance, and trust that this is all for a divine plan, that this is something that, again, beyond those growing pains and the discomfort on the other side of that, is something very beautiful. So I'm going to get some guidance from Spirit for you now, group 2, about this situation. Okay, and we have go after your goals, persist, encourage, advance. So this is really confirmation here of this person transcending some obstacles within themselves, kind of facing their fears and moving forward anyway. Somebody who is allowing themselves to be equipped and enhanced by the energy that they are feeling with you. Somebody who is recognizing this as a source of power and strength, something where they're feeling very empowered by this connection. And this can also speak of their desire to kind of take things to the next level, maybe with that Page of Wands, deliver some kind of declaration of love, or kind of opening up more to co-creating with you, to moving forward in this. And definitely, as far as that goes with the guidance, from Spirit in this capacity, is also this reassurance that, you're heavily supported and protected and being guided and encouraged along this path to awakening, kind of these barriers of fear that are being transcended. You're both mirroring this in some capacity. And so Spirit just wants you to know that, you have this whole entourage cheering you on and supporting you through this transition, that, the ascension that might be taking place, the gifts that are coming online, or just your kind of enhanced perceptions of reality, or of yourself within, the fabric of reality. It may seem very overwhelming. It might seem something that's, very much outside of the ordinary, but you're being reassured here that all is in divine order, that you're very much protected. There are larger forces and factions and factors at play that are kind of motivating you and pushing you to this expansion, to facing that fear and ultimately conquering that fear, moving into this place of victory within yourself and within this connection for the both of you, in order to really transcend to the next level of what your soul had planned in this lifetime through this encounter with one another. So I'm going to get some initials now. This can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Okay, so we have D, A, B, V, I, G, O, S, Z, R, and K. So those are your messages, group 2. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 2, or I'm sorry, group 3. You picked the Dalmation Jasper. So I'm going to start with some tarot and oracle cards to get a feel for this person's thoughts and feelings about you and the connection. Okay, so we have the Emperor, Death, Temperance, Five of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, Inner Child, Clarity, Action, Door to Spirit, Contract, and Adjacent Possibilities. So this definitely feels like somebody where there's kind of a permanent end between the both of you. This could be a connection that is kind of long buried, long dead, long left in the past. But with this ending, with the Death card, there is this idea of rebirth or renewal or beginning, transmutation into a different form of the energy that you were in previously. With the Emperor, this person could have really been operating out of a space of pride and ego, very kind of 3D oriented, or very focused on work, on success, on power. Somebody who, even with this Inner Child card, could have really associated love and emotional vulnerability with disempowerment. Instead of really recognizing that as a source of strength, they could have seen that as a sign of weakness. And that could have been ingrained in them through their upbringing, through their family, their childhood, a belief system, some kind of a cultural belief even, and that really operated as a wedge between the both of you. It kind of put a limit to what was experienced between you in the past. It really led to this place of, this person only giving so much with this Five of Pentacles, and you really feeling at a loss from that, desiring more, but really being presented with this kind of cold and sort of blocked off energy by this person, that when it came time to kind of take the relationship or the connection to the next level emotionally, they could have really put on the brakes, put on the wall. They were very hard to read. They could have been somebody who was just very difficult to express their emotions. That didn't come naturally for them. It felt very uncomfortable for them. So in this separation, in this silence, with the Door to Spirit and Clarity, something has really dawned on this person. as far as the way that their actions and kind of this closed off, this very being very blind to the reality of kind of the limitations that they were creating for themselves, for this connection, through this very sort of closed off heart space. There's some clarity here that they have in fact denied themselves a sense of peace, that this has led to turmoil and isolation in their life. Instead of peace and balance, something has been brought to their attention as far as, what went wrong in the past in this connection. And they're starting to really understand how their lack of vulnerability, their lack of really giving in a reciprocal emotional manner, cause this connection to kind of move into this icy state, or this very closed off, or kind of the death of the potential of the connection in the past. Through this clarity, through this kind of awakening that has taken place, I feel that this person with the temperance and with the dove on this card, they are moving more into a space of peace within them. They're starting to recognize how emotions and emotional vulnerability and expressing those emotions can in fact be a sign of strength. This is somebody who is coming to some kind of clarity, some kind of awareness with the adjacent possibilities of, as well, of a different way of being than they may have been kind of conditioned or templated or taught to act. Somebody who could have been very fearful of emotions, fearful of vulnerability, a fear of getting hurt if they were to open up too much. And so they had previously just been kind of, keeping these windows of opportunity untouched for deep connection, emotional vulnerability, opportunities within this connection, maybe on many occasions or several occasions, to kind of take things to the next level, to transcend beyond sort of the direction that you were both heading. And they resisted that in the past, but they are now recognizing that this is an adventure that they are very excited for. It's an adventure that is worth taking. It's a risk that is worth taking. With this contract card here, this can really speak to a soul contract that the both of you have, or some kind of other soul contracts that this person has really encountered or come upon in their life, that it has been for this purpose of kind of transcending the limitations of their belief system, of their beliefs about love. With this inner child here, it's really the purpose of all of that has been to kind of heal these inner child wounds, to sort of awaken this heart space within this person, this very wounded heart, this very guarded or skeptical heart. With the action card here and these black and white horses, this can really talk about them kind of reconciling the shadow and the light within themselves, stepping more into that yin, that feminine, that receptive energy, to balance out this very yang, action-oriented masculine energy that they were previously embodying. Also with the temperance card, again, that speaks to this balance taking place within this person. And with the scales showing up on both of these cards here, this can really talk about this person desiring to give more into this connection than they had previously. Six of Pentacles especially, a desire to perhaps make gestures of love, or deliver more certainty in terms of words of love, desiring to give some kind of an apology, to make some kind of an explanation, to hopefully instigate with the death that energy of the rebirth, kind of building from the ground up in this connection with Three of Pentacles, building from a solid foundation of reciprocity, a solid foundation of vulnerability as well. Somebody who is really, I feel, also kind of looking to you and the love that was offered to them, that they may have kind of closed themselves off from, just remained very vacant to, kind of resisted this sanctuary that was calling to them to open up and to experience kind of that warmth and depth that can be offered through the heart space. It's something that they're recognizing how they've really isolated themselves. They've really kind of closed themselves off from this abundance, this richness of emotion that has been waiting there for them. Something has really shifted within this person as well. Kind of drawn to the flower in the heart chakra space, but then also we've got the stars in the throat chakra, third eye chakra, and crown chakra on this card here. So some activations could really be taking place within this person. This person is almost in this ascension, moving out of kind of those lower chakras, the base, sacral, and solar plexus. And they've really been doing some work on kind of these more spiritual, higher chakras, connecting with source, trusting their intuition, learning to express their emotions and kind of navigate through the heart space as opposed to just the overly logical mind. So some kind of transmutation has taken place within this person, some kind of information that they have received, or even some kind of acts of kindness and vulnerability, of goodwill, which have really presented themselves to them, some kind of experience that they have had in some other way in their life that has really caused them to kind of open the door of possibilities for a new way of really evaluating love and the expression of love and the expression of emotions, this clarity that there is strength within that vulnerability, that emotions are not a sign of weakness, but they are in fact a sign of really being kind of whole and acclimated, aware of all parts of the self. Somebody who was maybe operating in an energy of imbalance, really coming into that balance within them. Thoughts about this connection and kind of the love that you embodied really being that catalyst for them, kind of that first peek, that open door into the possibility of something more, and any kind of disappointment or ending that occurred between the both of you. It's something that's really had them feeling at a loss, had them really feeling and very cognizant of the path that they are then headed on and kind of the limitations of that, this sort of limitation of warmth, of connectedness, of fulfillment on an emotional level, which they previously could have been kind of closed off to or were deliberately not trying to invest time and energy into. But now that they're seeing this, they're thinking of this, they're thinking of you in this connection as a sanctuary, as something that maybe the both of you even really balancing each other out. In terms of your expressions of love and emotions, in terms of your mannerisms, your personality, your likes, your dislikes, just your energy, that you work very well together in tandem. Somebody who's starting to, again, kind of balance that action and receptivity within themselves, and feeling this urge to really give something to this connection, give some kind of a heartfelt apology, or some kind of a love offer, an offer to try again, or to move the connection beyond this kind of stale and stagnant period that you find yourselves in, where there's not a lot happening, where the potential has kind of been cut short. It's sort of been cut off because of this person really, again, operating up to this point largely from pride and ego, but kind of transcending that, kind of taking back their power from some belief systems or sort of fears of love, fears of the unknown as well, as far as the potential loss that could happen when one opens themselves up to love. But then kind of recognizing as well that, beyond that and also in tandem with that is the possibility of something very, very new and unexpected and beautiful sort of blossoming out of that liminal space, that uncertainty, kind of the death of fear that gives way to sort of the birth of this new experience of joy in a different form than what they have been accustomed to in this lifetime. So in terms of signs, with the Emperor, we have Aries, Death is Scorpio, Temperance is Sagittarius, and with the Pentacles, we have Earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. And I'm also on this, with the scales here, showing up also on the Six of Pentacles. This is also really reminding me of the Justice card, so Libra energy. And then with this inner child with all these stars, it's reminding me of the star, so Aquarius energy as well. So now I'm going to get some messages for you, group 3, from this person's higher self. What do they want to say? Okay, and they say, please be patient with me. I am healing my heart. So that was coming through with that inner child and some kind of wounding. Also with the Five of Pentacles being very closed off in the heart space to love. This person may be rewriting some narratives that had been sort of programmed in them from childhood, or some kind of heartbreak from the past that had caused them to really shut down and operate purely from this logical and, kind of emotionally stifled energy, and they're in this process of kind of unraveling that, opening themselves up, opening this door to, experiencing harmony in the joy that love does have to deliver to them. But they're acknowledging that this is a progress. This is a process that, as much as they, are very much action oriented. I'm kind of drawn to these two figures kind of trudging through the snow on the Five of Pentacles with that, and it kind of might be an arduous process for them. Something that with the Death card, it's not necessarily immediate results for that rebirth, but something that gradually this person can step more into that state of comfort, of being able to express themselves in an emotional way, in a vulnerable way, perhaps in other areas of their life, that just kind of leads up to this point of making this declaration to you. Once they get a little more comfortable with that, kind of get their sea legs, so to speak, with, kind of navigating emotions and the ebbs and flows of that. Once they become a little more confident in that they will not totally capsize or be submerged by kind of opening up that heart space, allowing those emotions to flow, then they can make their way towards you with the kind of the offer or this explanation, or being able to put words to kind of feelings and even their motivations from the past. And they also say, I'm healing my intimacy issues. I am learning to trust and follow my gut. So that was definitely coming through with that kind of healing the inner child. And they were saying also they're healing their heart. And they're really learning to also, with all these kind of these higher chakras illuminated on this inner child card, they're really learning to kind of feel into sort of the higher senses, beyond what they can perceive, beyond whatever kind of wounds have been embedded in them from past heartbreaks or from their childhood, things they saw growing up. They're learning to really trust in their own discernment and their ability to navigate and to even overcome and kind of rise beyond potential losses in love. Learning the importance of taking that chance, of really putting themselves out there, recognizing that to keep themselves closed off is denying themselves access to this very beautiful experience and world of heartfelt connections. And they also say, my love for you runs so deep. So this could have been very triggering for this person in the past, this intensity of emotions, this kind of call, this pull to open their heart that they may have been unaccustomed to, not really operating from that space previously, or again, because of some kind of wounds or fears or programming. And so this is something which, this love almost feels like a river within them that has been constant and flowing despite any sort of closed off energy or kind of actions that they have been putting out in the past. And kind of the constancy of this is really helping them to move beyond and dislodge themselves from this very ego and pride-based and logical approach to life and to love and to this connection. And they also say, I'm buzzing with energy every time I think of you. So again, more of that very uplifting, very profound love that they are feeling. This love really being an example for them, a beacon for them, kind of this window opening out of nowhere, out of their life headed one way, with kind of keeping love at a distance, keeping vulnerability and openness and connection to a certain extent at a distance from them. And then all of a sudden, here you come very unexpectedly. It could have really triggered them into fear, into resistance, trying to kind of keep with what was predictable, keep that kind of eye on the prize, keep headed toward that goal. But now they're at this place of kind of surrendering to exploring that, to experiencing that, to seeing what, this love that has come into their life, these sensations that are rising up from within them, kind of what sort of opportunities or adventures that has to offer to them that is outside of the plan they had originally constructed for themselves. And they also say, you fill my heart with so much love and joy. So again, more of that deep and intense love that they have for you, love like a river that just keeps flowing through them. It's constant, and it feels like something that is just, the constancy of that is helping them to also kind of take their gradual kind of pace, take kind of baby steps almost with that inner child toward opening up to be expressing their feelings more, to getting more in touch with even recognizing their own feelings within themselves if they're not at a place of really expressing that to others. This feels like somebody who has even kind of turned a blind eye to the way that they themselves were feeling for quite some time. They've kind of shut that off, compartmentalized, denied that, and they're kind of moving into this space of really acknowledging that, moving through that, understanding that through feeling even difficult emotions, and on the other side of that is peace. sort of that expression, you have to feel it to heal it. And this is something that, it's making sense to this person. They're seeing something. It's becoming clear to them the route forward, a route toward a different experience in this life, a different kind of a lightening or an alleviation of some heaviness that they may have been carrying around, disappointments of the past, or even just fears and kind of the effort that it takes to keep people at a distance, emotionally speaking. And they also say, you make me so happy, I can't wipe this smile off my face. So somebody who's definitely excited with what they are discovering, what they are learning, what they're feeling, the more that they are kind of immersing themselves in this feeling, it's encouraging them to continue on this path, to continue taking action, an assertive role to transcend this fear and this resistance. They're kind of feeling that kind of silly in a way for how much they were fearing something as beautiful and as pure as love. And it's something where they're very excited that on the other side of that they're really sensing just all this newness and all this potential, kind of a depth of sensation that beyond the intensity of it, it's overwhelmed in a very beautiful way. So I'm going to get some guidance from Spirit for you now, Group 3, about this situation. Okay, and we have Awaken Your Inner Shaman, Connect, Invoke, Heal. So beautiful confirmation there of what's taking place within this person, kind of healing themselves from the inside out, activating this self-healing mechanism within them, healing some kind of wounds from childhood, some kind of preconceived notions about love, about connectedness, somebody who's really awakening that fire within them, to transmute a belief system from before, to even take action. And through this work that they are doing on themselves, it is creating this energy of transmuting the possibility between the both of you. Somebody who's also in this very kind of has moved out of the static energy of just repressing things or compartmentalizing things, kind of carrying around this heaviness and this burden of, again, the energy and effort it takes to kind of keep intimacy and keep emotional vulnerability at an arm's distance. And through this kind of river of love, this very dynamic force that's flowing within them, there's movement happening, there's progress happening. Something is being awakened, is being stirred, is being made clear within this person. That they were really operating from a very imbalanced perspective, that what they may have felt was a very empowering stance to keep emotions at bay was in fact limiting their capacity to express the most powerful version of them in this lifetime. So this is something that slowly but surely, and also through kind of this divine intervention with this door to Spirit here, this person is being guided to resources that can help them, information that is providing this clarity, these aha moments as far as some issues that they've been carrying around that need to be healed, ways in which they can enjoy their life more, have a better experience in this lifetime. And there's information that's coming to them that is helping to make sense what they have felt about you, how triggering that was with this contract here. Almost this is feeling sort of like twin flame energy, where these wounds within this person were really triggered for the purpose of healing. You contractually kind of agreed prior to this incarnation to meet in this way, to really stir these things up from the depths within one another, so that these shadows could be kind of faced and accepted and transcended, kind of incorporating again that sort of light and shadow into the wholeness and expression of your being. So this can also be some guidance as well from Spirit that as this person's going through this process, to really take some time to analyze your ideas on love that have been kind of shaped and molded based on heartbreaks you've experienced, disappointments, even disappointments in this connection with this person, and them being very closed off, being unwilling to kind of transcend a certain level in the connection, to open up and be emotionally vulnerable. Any kind of feelings of rejection or feeling of being out in the cold, this person not letting you in, questioning your worth and value, your trustworthiness trustworthiness even, excuse me, in that capacity. And any of these shadows that are coming up for you, doing that work on yourself can energetically really encourage this person as well to kind of stick with the momentum that has been initiated within them and that is taking place. And kind of the more you heal yourself, the more that you are creating that beacon of inspiration for this person to continue doing that healing work on themselves as well. So I'm going to get some initials for you now. This can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Okay, so we have C, B, X, P, Q, W, O, A, Y, M, N, K, and I. So those are your messages, group 3. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.